Morning, everybody. We are Signal Centre Talking
Oh,
Ball. It's 7th of May. April, May,
you're
June,
turning him
July.
down.
I'm Joe
Doesn't
Naber, joined
matter.
by Ian Coleman and Steve O'Hare. Good morning, everyone.
Morning all.
Morning all.
Okay, all okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, all good. You
Friday today, isn't it?
effective Friday.
Yeah.
Faux
Feels like
Friday.
Yeah. Nice long weekend.
Down the pub by 11 then. Oh,
No, I can't do it, mate.
If the back garden's the pub, then yes.
yes, going to be a nice day as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
Today and
22
tomorrow.
degrees we're talking about down here.
Oh, let's have a look what it is in mighty Sheffield. About 16 then probably.
Is there a natural converter?
Yeah,
Sort of
there
like
must
there
be,
is.
isn't there?
take away 10 and you're
whatever
there.
it is, minus 25%.
13 at the moment, rising to a mighty 18 at 2 o'clock.
Okay. That's like desert conditions in Sheffield, isn't it?
Yeah. Look at that.
Morning,
Full
Chloe.
English.
Look at that.
Morning.
Nice.
Look at that.
Salmon and scrambled egg.
Eggs
Don't
look a
mess
bit
about
grey.
down here. It's going to go cold now, isn't it?
Yeah, this is going to
Surely
be
you
an extra long episode of Talking Ball as
Exactly.
well.
Oh,
I've got a
no.
lot to chat about this morning.
Something wrong with my camera.
Very good. Right, okay. Ian, do you want to crack on with some FX stuff?
Yeah.
And Steve, we'll see if Steve can get his breakfast down. by
Yeah,
the
you
time
can
it's his
just
turn.
mute yourself, Stevie.
Chomp, chomp.
So yesterday, the dollar index continued to move to the upside. ADP report was out, and we had a build or minus 20 million for the unemployment for April. So there was a bit of a run to safe haven, and the dollar was the main receiver of it. So dollar index went up, euro dollar, etc. went down. So this is the dollar index chart, DXY. We're in this bullish channel formation. However, we have hit some resistance this morning. It's a previous swing high. We've got a 78.6% fib up here, and this is quite worrying. This gap from Monday or Sunday night, I should say. So there is ample scope for rallies now to be sold into, I think, for the dollar index and for a little move to the downside. With regards to yen, we've seen a move up in sort of Aussie yen, sterling yen, euro yen. We had a boost in Chinese exports overnight, an unexpected boost. The conspiracy theorists will be loving it, I'm sure. It gone up 3.5% for this month, and their imports have gone down 14.2%. So both were unexpected, and we've seen an uptick in all the yen crosses. I'm going to talk about euro yen on my gun to head, but what I do want to talk about is cable as well this morning. So B of E's been out this morning. Quantitative easing.
So that was, I've not seen the BOE do it at that time before. That was a
Yeah,
bit
6
unexpected, wasn't
o'clock.
it?
I mean, I don't suppose there's anybody working in London at the moment, but you'd be hard pressed to get your ass on the seat at 6 in the morning and you know, be servicing.
I've got to be honest, that caught me off guard a little bit. I was not expecting that. I should have read the calendar.
No, I know. It's normally 9 o'clock, isn't it?
Normally it's midday, isn't it?
Not quite. Well, we'll find out.
Yeah.
But definitely not 6 in the morning. But
No.
so there was no change in interest rates. There was no change in quantitative easing. The vote was 7-2 on quantitative easing. Two members did want to increase it by a mere £100 billion.
Is that all?
And we have seen a bit of an uptick in cable this morning. But if we look at long-term charts, this still looks like a bit of a wonky head and shoulders, possible double top formation. Still looking for rallies sort of be sold into, and I think we're
if you
quite.
did a fib on that as well, you'd see it was into a reasonable level.
This one, about
Yeah.
what you think is a 38.2.
Well, double top maybe forming there as well.
Yeah.
I was going from the sort of the sharp move down, sort of how much it's retraced.
Oh, this one.
Yeah.
Fib retracement.
Is it 61.8 maybe?
All right, mess me chart.
Okay, just
In
overshot
between.
it a little
Yeah.
bit.
This morning we were trying to get short on a move to the upside, and we've missed
I
our
just
trigger
missed
by a
it.
couple of ticks. But you managed to get in sterling Swiss, so we are short of sterling at the moment. So that's enough for me waffling before the head of gun to the head.
Okay.
That's the FX
Lovely
roundup.
stuff. All right, well, I'll take over on the indices. So, all looking pretty good on the indices. Again, a decent push overnight on the Asian markets. It was a bit of early downside, but it looks as though that's recovered. And this is starting off with the China A50, which is one of the markets that we cover on the overnight session in Europe, pushing to new highs there. In the FTSE this morning, off to a reasonable start off the back of this Bank of England chat that's gone on this morning. I mean, yesterday I was looking at selling this FTSE at, well, it's the same level as what I was looking to sell it at yesterday, 5933. It did rally into that underside of that broken channel, which if I scroll back you can see hit that almost perfectly and failed, falling down to the lower end of this wedge that looks to be building at the moment. So potential for another squeeze higher into that 50% fib level of this swing move here at 59.33 is the level I'm looking to get short on that. Similar setup on the DAX, broken channel, looking as though we're into a retest of that channel at the moment and a 78.6% retracement of this small move, down move here. So looking to sell strength on that, just a little bit higher at 10,740 this morning on the DAX. Nasdaq continues to push higher. Nothing stops this thing. Anything obviously tech related at the minute, it just keeps going and going and going. Next test for that is these highs that we saw on the 30th of April before we saw that mini pullback in stocks. So above 9155. Then we're looking at we're heading higher. I mean, is that probably going back to the previous all-time highs at 9752, which is mental considering what's just gone on over the last few months with coronavirus. But it's not as rosy on the S&P. That's stalling around about this 61.8% level, the sort of broader index for stocks. It's still below that level, and while it's below that level, I still think the opportunities are there to sell rallies on US stocks on an intraday basis. There it is on a shorter term time frame. So while below 2,900, I think it's a case of selling rallies for most of these indices, waiting for some reality to catch up with some of these numbers that we're expecting to see over the coming weeks and months on the economic side of things.
Yeah.
So that pretty much wraps up the view on stocks this morning. So assuming Steve-O's finished his breakfast, I'm going to hand over to him to talk about commodities.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to see that. That'd really put you off your trading. First of all, I'll look at a little bit of just hit the goalpost trade yesterday. Looking to short the we were looking to short Dow around about 24,075. Got up to 24,050 on where's the candle here? Is that it there? Yeah, this is the candle here. We were sort of selling just above here. Had a nice move down. Got just below where the target was, and it's reacted nicely higher. So maybe invalidating this head and shoulders formation. On the commodities, run through on there, we had a little bit of a pullback in oil yesterday. Let's look at the longer term chart here. There's a 4-hour chart, a little bit of a hanging man here. Not quite, but looking like it. Dark candle on the daily chart, the first real negative net day in 6. And interesting level to watch, I think, today in oil is this short-term trend line, which is confirmed this morning. Yeah, I think it's almost setting up a little bit of a bearish flag.
I think there's a 161.8% extension, isn't there, on the 4-hour chart, if I remember rightly?
Right. Yeah, so I'm sort of looking for selling a break here, really, this morning. The copper has soldiered on. It sort of stayed positive yesterday. I'm still looking to sell into this big level, the psychological 240 level. On the gold, we're still trading within the triangle formation. Again, we were looking to sell a rally a little bit higher than it got yesterday. Unlucky not to get triggered, but that's the way it goes. And it did have the move to the downside. Now I'm looking to buy the dip in front of this upper trending support. We've got a horizontal support here. Have the stop below there. That's what we're looking to do this morning in gold. And obviously, poor old silver just feels like a bit of a bashing boy at the moment. Obviously, we've got the dollar back above the psychological 100 level. And yeah, news-wise, a little bit more, well, a bit of news from the sources. This is from Reuters. Iraq has yet to inform its regular oil buyers of cuts to its exports, suggesting it is struggling to fully implement an OPEC deal with Russia and other producers on a record supply cut. Also, Russia oil output falls near to OPEC targets, but not quite there. Russians' oil output in the first 5 days of May fell to 8.75 million barrels per day, close to the 8.5 agreed under the global deal to cut. So they're cutting, but not quite as much as they want to. So there's oil's a little bit a wait and see there. That'll be my gun to the head challenge, I think, today, or gun to the head trades today.
Lovely.
That's me.
Lovely.
Cool.
Well done.
Well done, mate. Okay, so gun to the head challenge yesterday. Let's just have a review of that. Overall, the P&L dipped. We're in a bit of a drawdown period from the recent high that we hit, which is not
don't
to be
say
unexpected.
downtrend.
Certainly not downtrend, no. So yesterday we had trades on long Euro Oz, and we was also long of Euro New Zealand. So we had one winner and one loser, which is a bit surprising because they were sort of fairly tightly correlated. But Ian won with a 0.96R win. Steve and I were both stopped out on Bitcoin on Euro Oz on the session.
Yeah, I've been watching both of them. Well, I've been watching the Sterling Oz and Sterling New Zealand dollar, but the Sterling Oz seems to be underperforming the Sterling New Zealand dollar. It's sort of like it's almost two different trade ideas when I come to analyse them both.
Yeah.
You feel like one is the New Zealand Sterling New Zealand dollar feels like it's got a little bit of strength in it, but the Sterling Oz doesn't at all. And sometimes the charts are so opposite. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost like the two different countries.
Yeah. Are they not the same then?
Oh, fantastic.
Okay, so anyone, Ian, it's your honour.
Yeah.
If you've got anything to have a
I'm
look
just
at
having a look
today.
at Aussie New Zealand on the see what was happening there. Let's move it up like that. There you go. It's completed an ABCD formation. That was our support down there. That's why that arrow was down there. Anyway, get off that. I was talking about yen. Bill and Ben, they're all moving to the upside a bit this morning. Dollar yen, sterling yen, Aussie yen, all having decent recoveries. Will it last? I don't think it will last for Aussie yen. That looks like a large wedge formation. I'm waffling now. I'm supposed to be going to gun to the head. Euro yen is what I'm going to do today because of this. This is the daily chart. We completed a very nice AB equals CD formation target, which was at 114.36. The yen basket has hit some resistance, which means selling yen, buying the counter currency, so buying euro yen basically. Obviously 114.35 would be the preferred entry, but we're not going to get it. And it's gone to the head. Resistance is up here, 116.20. 116.10 is a 50% pullback. There's quite a pivotal area, so if I waffle for a bit longer it might get a bit lower. It's going along here.
Shit. Your
Pardon?
waffling's costing me pips here.
Good. I shall continue. What's it? There's no I in team.
Indeed.
450 ticks. Not great R, but that's what I'm going for. So long in euro yen 114.87, stop at 114.42, targeting 116.20.
Cool.
That's
Good luck,
me.
mate.
So
I am going to jump on sterling Swiss. We got a fill on it this morning on our intraday analysis. A really nice one at that level there, 120.91. Smashed into that level and has come off quite nicely, posting a nice reversal candle. So I'm going to jump on that now. It's having a bit of a go back up. Going to keep it a bit tighter than what we've got on our intraday analysis by placing a stop above today's high. So we're going to sell that at 120.74, stop loss at 121.00, targeting a move down to 119.65.
Lovely.
About 4.5 hour on that one.
Like it.
1965 2100. There we go. Lovely.
Good luck.
Chars. Stevie.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
I'm going to go for gold. I'm selling gold. And there's my levels. That's ridiculous. Oh no, it's probably not. 12.5 to 1.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Zoom in on that so we can see it a bit better.
I'm actually getting just obviously taking it
you're
from
hoping
now.
that's obviously going to break the trend.
Yeah, looking for it to break the trend line. It hasn't. It hasn't been confirmed yet, but I'm getting short now. 24.80. I'm going to keep the stop nice and really tight. The stop is 25.20. If you're a sensible trader, you'd place your stop at least above 25.55. But I'm going for the big one today. Bring out the big boys and target a move to these horizontal support levels way down here. Now let's get a fib line drawn in just to see if it lines up with any fib. It may line up with a 50% one. Oh,
one day
close.
you're going to land one of these 12-hour ones.
Yeah. It feels like it, doesn't it? I think today is the day.
You've got to be in it to win it.
Beat me to it. I was actually really struggling to remember what the saying was. In for penny, in for pound.
That'll do.
Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Throw enough shit at the wall, some of it sticks. You know, there's loads.
yeah, the classics.
No, but this is shit. So but it might stick. So that's mine.
Okay,
That's
good
it.
luck. We're all rooting for you with that one.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Data-wise today, we've got initial jobless claims out at 1:30. Previous week saw 3.8 million new claims for unemployment benefits in the US. So keep an eye out for numbers around there again, or an improvement, hopefully. We then have the Canadian PMI data. The index is expected to fall to 20 from 26. So expect some volatility in CAD crosses around 3 p.m. This afternoon, UK time. Anything else on the calendar or of note?
Non-farm payroll tomorrow because we won't be here.
Yeah, we won't be here tomorrow. So no talking ball tomorrow because we are going to be celebrating VE Day.
75 years.
75 years.
Since.
Just elsewhere on the news, I mean, the only thing I've seen of note was the fact that the US Secretary of State Pompeo was again going after China, saying that they could have prevented deaths of hundreds of thousands of lives around the world, and stating that the risks of doing business with the Chinese Communist Party are obviously still relevant and now open for all to see. So really going for the Chinese with this.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much it. Can't see much else of note.
No.
Lovely. Let's wrap it up there, shall we?
Yeah.
Back Monday.
Yes. Have a good, safe weekend, everyone.
Yes, indeed.
Enjoy.
Stay indoors. Bye, guys.
Cheers.